Greetings, technology enthusiasts. I am Chandrahas and I am delighted to be here with you representing CyberBrainer. Do you not believe that the technology sector is advancing at an unprecedented rate, making this an opportune moment to acquire the skills that will facilitate your progress? With CyberBrainer, we are empowering you to take control of your own future. At CyberBrainer, we do not merely impart your interests. We assert that information is power, yet it is the application of knowledge that distinguishes you. Our courses are meant to equip you with essential skills, whether you are pursuing data science, understanding artificial intelligence, or delving into cybersecurity. Let us commence the session and seize the future today. Thank you.
Let me show you the data right what I have given. That was for activated demo application. This is our group input mapping. If I go to a JSON right, it is the same JSON. It's like one of our field. It was missing for the reconciliation field, right? What we are taking object Z. And I have taken here entitled value. And the format what we were passing earlier, right? That was causing issue because if you look at the document, what this one given here, right? It is for the version 2023. That is the inner current version. And that is making the problem, like this. Member has right. This member has same concept, something it is new is it is not there in our older version. We have to accommodate with another version, right? That is, I am referring now a older version of the document. That is, let me open for you that. Saviynt connector. If I open this connected document, this is little old, that is enough for 5.53. But this document I cannot copy anything, but I can show you. If I try to search here group input mapping, right? This is the format what I am passing now. Let's look at the example one. Right. The same way, right? I am passing here what they have passed here. It is nothing. Let me know the same way I am passing here. Just you have to add. I will require attribute. And do the recon. Along with that, right, if I do, go save and test connection. Here, what I am passing here again. Like only that custom property one. Basically, I am passing the common name. This common name attribute of this. Let me refresh this connection. This common name attribute, that is up to entire name passing to custom property, one which is true. And I get the description of this attribute. I am passing to this restriction attribute of our Saviynt. And it is a very distinguished name passing to the entire element value. Same way object class is passing to custom property too. And the distinguished name, again I am passing to the entire ID. Basically this entire inted. It is like a unique attribute. In your save, after passing this information all over here, right? I will save and test the connection. And I will go ahead and simply run the job. Let me before that create more entire element here. I will go to Server Manager, open the Server Manager and go to Active Directory. user computer. And here let me create some more group. New group. I will group the group name here, which is not present literally. This group is created. Let me create one more group. These are the some group I created, right? And let's go and run our job. Again, how you want to go to run, right? Go to the job control panel here and go to data. In the application data import, click on action and start. Here I will be giving the Active Directory demo group. That is your security system. Action connection is automatically. What connection I am using? The job file will be full import. And import type I will be giving access. And run the job. Let me open the log also. The job is finished. Grab the log. Let me give 200. Last 200 I need to print. And if you see what it is giving the information, this is the information. This is sum of the entire. It is giving rate, which is updating. Basically, it is printing all the query and entitlement here. Right. Let me come to the apply directory and just refresh the domain. Reload entry. Right. And if I go to the end user, the maintenance, right, is there. Let me go ahead and search in my security system. Go to security system and open the security system. Active Directory demo. Go to endpoint. Open the endpoint name. And here, go to entitlement type, right? Open the group. You can see all the groups, right? It is imported here, Toto 53. And same thing, we can search in the entitlement also. Click on the entitlement. You will see all the entitlement. It will be there. Instead of make, you will see this flow manager flow rate and your maintenance. Right. These are the same tenant. Entitlement you got imported. Now we are gonna manage this entitlement and will be assigning user this entitlement hours as you would rate. Let me create some of the user as well. We did the entitlement input and we have the entitlement in our list. We will assign the entitlement to the users and we will do some request. Right. Well, we have done our create account JSON where we have passed. We have assigned some of the user there and to the application. Let me go ahead again to ARS request write. Request access of the and find any of the active user. Click on this user. Click on next and search for activated. Now to cut, checkout write. See in the select access upon write. You don't see anything. Basically, we are not able to select any of our entitlement. Let's go and modify our things that we will be able to. Request for entitlement. How you gonna do that? Go to your end. Admin menu right again. We have already seen this information earlier. Go to the security system. Open our security system. And if you go to end here, the approval workflow is there auto. That's not an issue. Let's go to your endpoint and open the Active Directory demo. If I go to the entire type right, see the groups. What we have, the groups right. All the groups under that group. We have entire. Request option is none. Right away, we do not see any of entitlement. What we need to do? Simple make from not to drop down our table list. I will make it as a drop down or table. Let me give table option, right? And the records will save right. Go to here again. This is menu. Now you see all entitlement right. I do not want to see all entitlement. That means my requirement will be when user try to submit any request, entitlement which are requestable, that should be shown. Should be shown here not all the entitlements. Select all the entitlements. Some of the entitlement right. What we have here, many of the entitlement will be worthwhile and many of the entitlement will be from different purpose. All the entitlement shouldn't be able to request by the end user. To stop that right and make few of the entitlement requestable, what I can do? Go to entitlement type again, right? This view detail option is there. Click here. Once you click there, here you see there is a config for requestable entitlement in ARS. These attributed controls. What entitlement should be requestable in ARS? Simple, I can write. This is ev.custom_property1 equal to requestable. What I am mentioning? The custom property 1 for entitlement. EV means entitlement value. Basically this EV, it is an object of your entitlement value. What is your entitlement value? Entitlement value contain all your entitlement. It's a table name, entitlement value. Let me open the My Skill workbench. In your Saviynt, if you go, whatever entitlement we are requesting here, right? We saw all this entitlement. If I go to the endpoint again, right in the endpoint, all the entitlements imported right. Basically, these all entitlement are stored under your entitlement value table. Just to confirm, click here right on any of the entitlement. If you click here right, it will take you to the entitlement value tables. Write in the key 26782668. All this entitlement, these are stored under your entitlement value. Right? If I do, select star from entitlement underscore values. Now if you select iterate, you will get all the entitlement, whatever it there. Scroll down to the right. You will see the entitlement value column name or discipline will be also there. That is, if you go as per the discipline name, right? Entitlement number of entitlement are there. If you want it, figure it out based on your endpoint, right? Simple. Let me go one more back, right? You see this is endpoint equal to 43. Come back to your MySQL work straight. Where is the endpoint table key? Entitlement ID. Let me simple do description. Copy the table name, right? And search it. Scroll down and see. Display name. And that meant type key. It should have the endpoint mentioned. See data column, see the entitlement value key. Scroll down little bit. If it is not giving that, I can simply we can simply give the entitlement type. If I go to here, go to the entitlement type, open the group, right? This is the entitlement value key. After that, confidentiality and entitlement type key. If I go to the entitlement types, right, this to a description of your entitlement types. Let's see it. This is the name. Here they are giving the endpoint key. And your entitlement type key. Your entitlement type. Now search this one right. Resource to entitlement right. Lot of like groups is there, right? What is your entitlement type here? It is group. We have number of groups. Basically, we have to search the endpoint key. Endpoint key for is 43, right? Key in 43. For this endpoint 43. What is the entitlement type? Now if I go here, right? This is your entitlement type key 128. We have to give you. Entitlement type key. Sir. Entitlement type key. And this is again coming back to your entitlement value, right? Entitlement value key. Entitlement value. Your display name. From entitlement. Entitlement value. Where your entitlement type key. Annotate. Now you search it. You are getting all the entitlement. What is there for our Active Directory application? You can see your entitlement will be there if I separate it right. So flow manager flow rates are right. And your maintenance will get it right. These all are entitlement. You can see it here. Which key you searching here? Using your groups. This groups is nothing but your entitlement type. It is coming from a different table. And your entitlement right. This is coming from your entitlement value table. This way you can write identify or your entitlement. If I go right, I was there like you know. If I go to entitlement type, if I want to make some of the entitlement requestable right, simply you have to click here and here. I will give if cost property 1 equal to any keyword you can write. I am just writing request. What does it mean? I am telling if any of the entitlement custom property 1 has a value request right. They will be those entitlement will be requestable and it will show here for me to be request right. Now just update it. After updation, again go to your security system. Open your Active Directory demo application right and go to the endpoint. Open the endpoint. Go to entitlement tab now. Any of the entitlement right which you want to be as soon as a requestable. Entitlement I have created right. It is such that it flow rates up this entitlement. Open this entitlement. Go to the other attribute. In the custom property 1 right, I will just write down request. And in the other customer attribute, other attribute right, this custom property 1, it is storing your entitlement name. It is basically storing the entitlement value. What I can do instead of that right. The custom property 1 or the custom property, which is empty, I will here give a give. custom property 4 and update. Now, if you go to your entitlement, open your entitlement right in the other attribute. In custom property 4, I request and scroll down and update it. And again go to your show entitlement in the other attribute in the custom property for type request and update it. After updating now, these two entitlement are requestable, right? Let's see. Custom property 4. The spelling is correct. Now if I go to request again, right? Go to your request home. Basically, I will go to IaaS and then the request home here. I will request again. Go to request access further. Now pick any of the user. Click on next. Right, and I will be choosing my application. Activate it to demo. Add it to cart. Go to checkout. Now you see only those two entitlement. What I choose to be requestable and this layer, those are the link here. This is most required, right? When we are working in a real-time project, that time you will be seeing not all the entitlement which is requestable. Some of the entitlement which is birthright, those are not requestable at all. You cannot request them because that's a critical application or critical entitlement. Right? I will be giving access to this user right. 61. Click on add. Right. Once you click on add, click on next. I'll write some business justification here. I will write same, also write it here and submit it. Once you submit it, right. If I go to view status, you see there is two request code generated. One is for add account. Because this user doesn't had any Active Directory account, that is why, right, and both are approved. Right. If I go to task, it would have generated two tasks. One is for new account. One is for add access. This is for your new Active Directory demo account. And this is for your entitlement. In Saviynt, right, we talk like, if you do not have any account, you try to request for any of your entitlement. That time it will be generated automatically and work on task, which is, it is a dependent task. Now if I try to process all this task, right, either you can copy the which we saw, or you can directly run this application. Active Directory demo. Right now go to job control panel. Right? When you are in job control panel and in the utility, go to utility. Scroll down in the bossy job. Right. Go to accent and start now. Here provide your secret system, Active Directory demo, and in the show option, task, give new account, Azure and submit it. The job is over. Let me grab the log right and go back to you. Request ID right, request, refresh it. Go to the task right. Both the task right are completed. This is the user right. It is Zoru3961. If I go here, again refresh it. Reload the entry and now go to your user Bandit. What is the username here? It was Dell. Chit Chase right. This is the user. If just click on the user right, and you can see this user is a part of your CN equal to flow HR right. This is a member of attribute. You can see this is a member of now this attribute. See when same information you can view. If you click on this CN equal to flow HR, this group right. If I expand it and click on here, floor right, you see there are two accounts, a part of this group. One is CN equal to Dale and another is CN equal to test1, test1, 2, 3. This is how you're gonna assign an access to the user. One thing, if you see in the task history, right, if you go auto task, you see when we are raising any request, right, that thing it is getting out or we do not have any workflow, right? ID. There will be workflow, right, which at least it should go to your manager, right? To do that, right, how you can achieve that? When I submit a request, right, it should go to first approval of my minute. Ideally in your real-time project, what is to happen, right? If I have an application, let's say if this is my application name is Active Directory, right? And this Active Directory application, I want to provision, right, to a, let's say the user name is ABC, right? The ABC user. Also when he's there in your access now, he should have the manager as an right. Every person has a manager. Let's say Active Directory application has two entitlement. One is your which a floor manager, right, and other one is your like HR person, era manager. To get access to the floor manager, I should mention, right, if you are requesting any of the entitlement in your Active Directory, first it should be approved by this manager. In the real-time application, when we working for a project, each and every request approved by first manager first. If manager approve, then only the request should be or the class should be generated. Otherwise, if manager rejected that request or he didn't approve, just shouldn't be getting access. To configure that, how you gonna configure? Let's see how we can configure a workflow. Basically, we'll configure this workflow for our Active Directory application. Remember, you can create approval workflow globally for all the application. Whatever application we saw here, right? If I go to my security system, you see all this approval workflow, right? For all the application, we can configure the workflow globally. But globally thing it is not accepted actually in the real time. It should be a right for application which we should configure it. I should configure workflow. For this application only right that is activated demo. To do that, just again, you have to click the admin right, expand it. And you see there is a workflow here in the workflow list, right? There is workflow listed there, right? And in the exam, create a new workflow. I click here. You see lot of pre-available workflow you have. Basically, these all are requests. I can say. If whatever you need, you have to just drag and drop and make a workflow. First thing first, right? You have to give the workflow name. What is the workflow name? I will give Active Directory Manager work. After giving the name, drop the start button here. By default, first the start should come right. After that, our request should go to your manager, right? I will give it. Drag a manager workflow here, right? Once you drag it, just make a connection here too. Once you give the manager workflow here, right? The possibility that might come, right? See, managers can be approved the request, right? Second one, manager can reject the request. And third one, he can escalate to somebody. If the approved if manager is approving, what should happen? It should grant access. Drag the grant access button right. Hard it to here. If manager reject the request, what should happen? It should reject the just drag the. There is a request to here. Here what name I should give? I will give some name like, and here I will give the reject. And for the manager, I'll give a name here. Manager approve. Approve. This is the sample workflow, right? What I'm giving here, all the thing. We should have the end, but it's your approval, workflow is ended. These are just it. And scroll down little. And your workflow is ending here. Attach this one to your end. And this is ending here. Save it. Once you save it, this workflow, click on Send Approval. This workflow. It is sent for approval and you have to again click on. The second method is your approval workflow. And here it is sending pending approval state, right? Just in the action menu, click on Accept it. And write some connection, some comment. Needed whatever comment write, disposable. Now this workflow, it will be loaded. Click on the workflow list again. And you see Active Directory Manager workflow. If you have any of the error right, you won't be able to load it. It will throw any error if you have any error. What I can do now? The workflow is ready. I'll again go to the security system. In the security system, open your security system. In the security system, and if you scroll down, you see this access to our other workflow, right? It was auto-approved. Instead of auto-approved, the approval workflow, what we created. Active Directory Manager workflow. Attach this one now. Even for the removal also, I'll be attaching the same workflow. After attaching it right, just click on Update now. We will raise a request for a new user. Now, if you request for this user, what will happen? If the manager is blank, always remember in your access node, if you are raising a request, your application, approval workflow, that is for manager approval, but your manager is not there. He is inactive that time. Your request will be always assigned to your admin user instead of manager. Now, these are the user who has the manager right. Simple. I can take this user for my request, right? Copy this username, and you see the manager who is there. Let's see this manager active or not. First, copy this manager. I will do one thing. I will right click here and duplicate tab, and go to your user menu and search for the manager. The manager is active. Take this user or copy username. We'll submit a new request for this user. Go to the AS menu. In the AS, your request form will be selected. Go to the access for the. Now give this user ID. After using the user ID, click on the button. Select the user. Click on next and choose your applicants. Or go to checkout. Now, these are the two entanglement available. I'll add one more entanglement right, and after I click on next and write some of the business. And after writing, simply submit the request. Now you see the request is submitted, right? If I click the scroll down, see the request now is going to pending approval and to whom the request is assigned, right? How you can view that? This is showing this manager approval task. Crew task, it is being assigned to the user manager. And who is the manager? Managers. And who is the requester, right? It is link request access for this user, Jamesh, right? And this is for your Active Directory endpoint and assign is this person. Now what I'll do? I have to log in as this user to approve this request, right? Simple copy the username, right? Let me show you something. Here, instead of letting the other tab right, and here, simple click on the admin menu, open this three dot, go to add function. I click on the admin function, right? Search the manager user. For this manager user, right? If I want to approve these requests, right? Whatever request is assigned to the manager, right? I should be able to log in as a manager. For that, I have to what I can do? I have to go to the admin function, right? Open this user, right? Once you search the user, click on manage. And there is a offset and reset password. Click here and give a default password. Some default password I'm giving here. Once I give a default password, click on save and the password is reset to successfully. What I can do is copy this user ID, right? This is your username is different. And what is this? $60, right? Let me open it again. It is a display name. This is your username. Let me open Incognito tab now. Click on Incognito tab. Now hit the URL again. This time I'll be logging as a this admin user. Sorry, this is a manager user. Now give the password. Click on login. It is denying this username, I believe. If I go back right, maybe it is searching this user to give the username this one. Right to it. I forgot the password I set. I'll set the password again. Go to admin function. Search this user and manage password. Reset password. I'll give something else. It will be capital D. X. Save. Now put the username and go to the incognito tab. Give the username and the password D and L. Again, it will be asking the username. Let me give that. Your old password. Right. It has new password D and L. Left 345. D and the right 3045. Just click some next. It is asking some of the security system right. What is your favorite color? Simple. I'm giving some color. And the path name. I'm giving here name. And save it. Now I can see the manager persona, right? Where the manager can view the request, right? See if you go here, right? This is your dashboard menu. Now it's called here, right? You see. There is a request approval button here, right? Click on this request approval. Or how you can view. If you go to request form, simply click on here. You see the request approval button will be here. If you open this, you see there is a new account pass got assigned to the user, right? I need to upload this, approve this task, right? How you can do that? If you open this, right? Just open that request, right? What you see here? It is telling the request has been submitted. For the standard access CN equal to floor manager, just click on accept account, right? Just approve it. I am just approving it. I am just accepting the account as well as I am accepting the hard access also. This is for your entitlement. Simple accept it. I write in the comment here, accepting it. So, now finally, once you accept this, you have to click accept or one by one. And here, you can click on the confirm button. Once you confirm, it will be gone from your queue, right? And how you can view that? Whatever the request you approve, simply click on the request history. Once you click on the request history, you see a lot of requests, all the requests, right? Just request and submit it based on the submission date. You can see it is view for here, right? ID, request for this person, and requested by who requested, admin person requested for this user, and it is completed now. Now if I go to other tab, in the other tab, right, In this show request pending approval earlier write. Now refresh it. Refresh the node. You see it is approved. What is the manager write in the command approving it and accepting it? Once the request is approved, now if you go to the task menu, you see the 2 tasks will be generated, and it is for a new account, and it is for your add access, and it is for your entitlement. Same way I can go to the job control panel. Click on the job control panel. Click on again. And in your provisioning job, click on start and give your security system name here and give the new account. Type and add access type as well and submit it. Let this job, wait a few to finish. The job is finished. Now, if I go to the request menu, right? I can refresh it or simply just refresh it. And if you scroll down right, again go to the task menu. You see both the tasks are completed right. See if the tasks are completed. Just copy the username. Go to your admin. And in the identity repository,